Welcome back. Do remember that you can find all our top stories on channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. Also, log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device and download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and the Channels 24 apps will give you access to news and updates. You'll also have access to the Eyewitness feature. With it, you can share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions you see. Well, let's establish that connection again. Joining us on the program now to tell us more about the climate change that might be affecting herdsmen attack is a senior lecturer, Department of Geography, University of Lagos, Dr. Mayowa Fashional. Thank you for joining us in News Across Nigeria. First, let me ask you if you agree with the theory that climate change is actually responsible for the herdsmen-farmers crisis in Benue State.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Mr. Fashional? Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you very well.
Hello, Mr. Fashional. Can you hear me?
Can you repeat the question?
All right. I want to know if you agree with the theory that climate change is responsible for the herdsmen and farmers attack in Benue State.
Thank you very much. I think climate change is part of the equation. It's not the entire line of the equation. Yes, there is climate change, and then the resources are becoming limited due to changes to rainfall. The changes to rainfall is also affecting the vegetation. And I think, by and large, the biggest challenge for the Fulani herdsmen or the pastoralists in Nigeria generally is access to land. And there has been a whole lot of documents, a whole lot of studies that have documented this. If only we had, if only we run a kind of a knowledge-driven society, we should have known this long ago. Because the population, human population is increasing, animal population is also increasing, and yet the land resources is not expanding. And so, when you also have a kind of resource like that is a kind of open access, as we have in Nigeria, where land belongs to everybody and yet belongs to nobody. The end result of such a land management system is conflict. And so it is part of what we call the tragedy of the commons. That is what is playing out now.
Okay, do you think that these negative effects of climate change will continue to drive the herdsmen to green land margins in the southern region?
Well, climate change, no doubt, has a very, very potent effect on the livelihood of the pastoralists. But we cannot take climate change in isolation because climate change is just an additional stressor. For example, there is conflict in the northeast that has seriously limited the areas that is available for the pastoralists to graze around the northeast. And so, which means the pressure is in the northwest, and then in the middle area of the country, and then in the south. So climate change per se is just an additional stressor. It contributes, but it does not present the whole picture.
Okay, you said something about this affecting or limiting the places where these animals can graze. For example, the governor of Plateau State, like many others, are insisting that ranching is a solution and not the anti-grazing law. What do you think should be done? I mean, what can the government do to hasten this process?
Well, I didn't quite get you. I didn't quite hear you clearly, but I guess you are talking about the anti-grazing law bill or whatever. But the key issue is that we need to reform our land system, our land management system. Land in Nigeria is an open thing that you tend to have a kind of, people see it as a kind of, what do we call it, as a kind of open access. And so it becomes a common property, common pool resources. And so even if the Fulani people or the pastoralists want to get land, it's going to be difficult for them. And if the natives, then they want to release their land, it's going to be difficult for them because these lands are not titled. They are not titled on this land, and so it makes it very difficult for them to be freely transferred. I think as part of the whole issue, we need to work more on our land management system. As we have it now, it's very difficult. It makes land access really very, very difficult. We can try to, the establishment of grazing reserves and what have you can only play a part, but I don't see it as completely solving the problem.
So what do you see as something that can completely solve this problem?
But again, I didn't get the question.
What do you see as something that can completely solve this problem?
To solve the problem?
Yes.
Well, to solve the problem, like I said, we need to reform our land management system. We need a kind of system where the Fulani will have access to land and the farmers will also have access to land. That if the farmers want to give the pastoralists land, they can do that in a kind of a free trading system. And if the Fulanis want to buy land from the natives, they can do that. So if they want to leave a place and go to another place, they can transfer. Then as it is now, our land management system is not transferable. It's very, very difficult, and it's not free floating. So it makes transfer very easy. Unless and until we work on our land management system, we're likely going to continue to have these problems all around the country.
Very much, Dr. Mayowa Fashional, as a senior lecturer at Department of Geography, University of Lagos. Thanks for your time. We move to other stories now. Over 50 suspected criminals have been arrested from different parts of OGUN State for various offences. Parading the suspects at the state headquarters of the police command, the Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Eliasu, said the men are suspected to be the ones terrorizing residents, and they are responsible for kidnappings and armed robbery cases in the state. Items recovered from the suspects include 29 arms and well over 300 rounds of ammunition and vehicles snatched from their owners.
Based on complaint received at Igwa police post in Aitoro about some Fulani herdsmen who are into kidnapping and using their cattle to destroy farm crops in that area, a team of policemen led by ASP Idowu Babalola swiftly moved into action and arrested 2 of the suspects. Following diligent and discreet interrogation and investigation, 1 AK-49 rifle and 46 rounds of 7.62 millimeter rounds of ammunition were recovered from them. This case was transferred to Federal SARS for district investigation, which led to the arrest of 1 suspect and recovery of more arms and ammunition.
Let's move to Enugu State now, where the government has received the first batch of returning migrants who it's indulging with its commitment of their reintegration into the society. Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, who spoke to the returnees at the government house, also appealed to those intending to make such trips to learn from the painful experience of those that could not complete the journey.
We are certainly glad to have them back because promise to help them undertake necessary medical checks and also reintegrate them, their families, and society at large. I wish, however, to use this opportunity to advise our people, especially the young ones, youths, to desist henceforth from traveling to Libya and other similar places around the globe in search of the provided greener pastures, because such places are evidently unsafe. Moreover, we expect that despite the economic situation in the country, our young people should positively invest their resourcefulness and creativity at home rather than expose themselves to slavery and untold difficulties abroad.
And to KWARA State now, where Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed is advocating a reduction in the 50% contribution by states to the Universal Basic Education Project due to the economic situation in most states. Governor Ahmed made the request in Ilorin, the KWARA State capital, while receiving delegates from the Universal Basic Education Commission in his office.
In the past, we had muted the issue at the Economic Council level and indeed the Governors Forum's level, that it is high time we met and decide on how to reduce the expected contribution from states. because 50% contribution in the current revenue profile of states is almost impossible. For instance, I'm sure you have close to like 2-3 billion resting down for KWARA State for us to access through contribution. But I'll also let you know that our monthly revenue receipts, especially from federation allocation, is on the average about 2.5 billion. And that is where salaries are paid from and other commitments are made from. So getting to contribute to the local government, the UPEC funds, will be a bit challenging. And of course, the only option you look at is probably look at the borrowing window from a financial institution. But your borrowing will also be dependent on your capacity to pay back.
When news across Nigeria returns, we'll take a look at the outcome of the Delta State local government elections as it is still getting reactions from people. Please stay with us.